What is this? Oh, who knows?
We aren't the player that LeBron James is. Last time I checked, LeBron passes better. He's bigger. He's
Look at
taller.
okay.
He's
Who cares
strong.
what the bashers say? But look, and this goes for any show. I mean, at one point I remember it being uh much music. I mean, anytime, just fill the studio with people, and therefore you think other people are interested in this, and therefore it's okay for you to like it. And this and that and this and this and that. And of course, you go up to this person and you say, "Do you like basketball?" He's gonna say, "What? Of course! It's the greatest game on earth, the greatest sport. It's athleticism and this and that and this, and they all just dream they can fly. Yes, jump like Jordan, spread your wings." Right? Who knew the famous poster? Right? Of You guessed it. Who knew? Who knew? Right? Who knew? Right? Exactly. Look, he couldn't wait. Oh, he has wings. He can fly because Nike says it. Yes, the goddess of Nike is telling you everything. Oh, just a check mark defiling you because that's truly what you worship, a check mark. The blazing whispers of this tongue that's just seducing you in lust. Look at it. Oh, you can fly. Wow, it's the greatest sport. And you're like, wow, what? It's there's nothing wrong of hiding of having role models, somebody for your child to look up and this and right, because you know exactly what they are, right? And you want your child to look up to them, or is it just what they do and how they apparently got to accomplish it through parent hard work and this and being so respectful and just being nice to everyone and just this and that. No. What a shame. What are people doing? Just being okay with saying, "Oh, what's wrong with all these?" I mean, think of the countless. I mean, who doesn't? Bash people probably don't even remember baseball cards or like whatever sports cards, trading cards, and this and that, and the rookie cards and this and that and the other. No, what? Who knew there's a relentless supposed right athletes that are just stacking up stacks numbers, piling up numbers. Hopefully they'll be remembered somehow. Hopefully, but no, that they'll say that they love that's their life, and they just do it. They just did it for the fans, apparently, right? Not the desire that they thought that they were gonna be famous and this and that and have posters just like right, like Michael and this and that, right? So everybody's living the actor based reality. Okay, meaning worship of acting pretenders. Because who was this? Who even gives a bash? What I mean, what is this person? Another person. Wow, who knew? Yet through the fantastic image manipulation, now wow, he can do amazing things. Wow, who knew his body can do amazing things? Wow, who knew the body does amazing things? Who knew? But somehow you're surprised every time and like, oh, it's a miracle and this and that and this. Wow. Is it because you think it's just the body and the body just purely by its own effort does all these amazing things? What are you forgetting? That's right, life. You forgot life. Because what is life exactly? You don't know. You just think it's turning on the TV and watching a game, having a beer with your bash buds. All while just boasting about stats and predicting this and having a pool of bets and this and what? Nothing. Shells of men and women out there for those who think that they're cool because they sit down and, oh, oh, I'm such a cool chick. I watch sports too. I watch sports with my boyfriend and he thinks I'm super cool. What does that even mean? Somehow it means you're progressive and you're, doing, you're compromising and this and that, because then your boyfriend will go and do things you like with you too, and this and that and this and that. Smashed. Clueless. Clueless. Exactly. The swarm. Look, they couldn't wait to show you. Because it's the fans that hold him up. Yes. Right? It's the worship of the masses that created the image that he could just boast and just prance around and shoot baskets relentlessly. Who knew? So why is it that people bash? And I've heard people say, "Oh, the reason why athletes get paid millions upon dollars, and depending on how good they are in this, and how dim or how bright their 1,000 points of lights are, and who they want to favor and disfavor, and ultimately it's just a team and this and that, this and that and that." No, smashed. Right? Because who even gets to be on a team, supposed professional team? Is it just talent? No. Of course it's not. And it never was. Especially because who knew you could say, "Oh, well, basketball is just fun to play with your friends." Great. Play with your friends. But why do you worship it? And why do you worship other men? Wow. What a shame. Is you, "Oh, because I could never do that." And that, yeah, because you're 300 pounds and just smashed. Right? Or you think just because you're, "Oh, well, I'm not that tall." Who gives a bash? Why do you even want to just shoot, just be able to smash a ball into some metal hoop and be like, "Whoa!" Smashed. Right? Because apparently the Mayans, they had to do the same. They had to smash balls through hoops, but the winner got killed. Wow! That's what you believe. And you'll say, "Wow, look at all the progress. Now we don't kill our heroes, we worship them." What does that even mean? Nothing. For why would the Maya apparently even kill the best warrior? Unless they're lying to you. Unless they're saying, "Well, they went to battle, they came back, and then the winner got killed as a sacrifice for killing in the first place." Like the victor, who even knows? But I mean, you believe that they just got killed. So do you know why? Well, who knows? It could be anything, right? Well, I mean, who knows really? It's a story told to you. Exactly. Just as the story of their numbers and stats and blah 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 are just bullshit, but what you remember is how high he jumped and he had wings. And he has shoes named after him. Wow. He must have been such a great guy. Right? Oh, everyone has basic goodness and this and that, and everybody's just a regular ass person with the same morals as me, or at least with just a basic notion that be good to everyone. Smashed. You have no idea. You have no idea because you don't know what it takes to get to even be on a team, let alone to now be receiving all the attention, the praise, the glory. What does it even mean? You don't think they go out and pick people that are going to be the best at doing those things? Wanting it, willing to do whatever it takes to win. To win, right? Win what? Oh, the game. No. Because truly has to be a comprehensive philosophy of the self, right? Of the individual, of the person. So who knew sports is filled with just relentless what? Eye worshippers. Third eye worshippers. Who knew? But let alone they pull it off in a team. That saying, "Yeah, it's all about teamwork and just using the strengths of the team to just shapeshift and win." What does that even mean? Nothing. For truly, there's stars even within the Bosch teams. So isn't out the stars out even within the teams? Now you root for the stars to always score for the team and this and that and this and this and this and smashed. Oh, because there's always better guys than other bash. So I mean, they're the ones that shine above and get MVP and this and smashed. Exactly, just worship of ability and action, supposedly. Ability and motive or whatever bash method acting skills you do, right? To be able to, cope with all the pressure and obligation and blah, 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 blah. Because who knew now you're making, mega money or the promise of mega money. So you better score those baskets. And you say, oh, that's the pressure and this, and that's why, sport, all the stars are just super stressed, under stress, and they get paid millions because they go into that moment of bliss where they can just read the play back to back, blah, they're not even thinking, just see, they become superhuman. That's what you believe. Right? Couldn't be that they're just brainwashed. They got their 10,000 hours in of brainwashing, bashing. Their bodies can now, keep up with what they're supposedly attempting to do. Well, get a ball in a basket. You say, no, it's way more than that. Wow, who knew you could make it as complicated as you wanted? Still, it's putting a ball into bash, metal ring. Wow, you're ringing and rimming a ball through a rim. Who knew? You're relentlessly just going for this toss salad. Rimming. You love the rim. You're just rimming it relentlessly. Okay? Look at you. Look at you. And you worship all these sports. Why? Oh, because it's fun and, I just grew up with it and it's fun to play. I was captain of my team, this and this and that and that. That's why I identify with it. Right? Who knew it was like a religion to people, because the minute you start talking about bash things like this and calling people out on their bash worship, they're like, hey, man, take it easy. We just want to have a good time. Just shut up and let us be bashed. Okay, yeah, of course. Continue. Continue being bashed in false worship. Yes. But don't cry. This is the thing. Continue. But then you can see clearly your hypocrisy of why you relentlessly cry about your life. Okay? You're the bash victimhood to the 33rd degree, and you're just one other dude amongst these bash masses that are relentlessly listening to just fools like these hosts. And what are they even talking about? Oh.
And I get it. The questions are with the mentality. And this was the knock that people have on LeBron James, and we touched on this yesterday, is that he's not a killer. He's not going to go down fighting. He's not going to do all the little things. If last year's
So they say he's not a fighter. He won't go down fighting. He'll just give up immediately. Is that what they're saying about him? Huh.
NBA Finals didn't prove that to you, I don't know what does. I'm confused.
Oh, that's proof, right? Apparently, that's proof to everyone. Yeah, everyone cheers! Yay! And is he gonna blast statistics? Or just what? Relentless footage of some bash doing some move in the air and just smashing a ball in a hoop. Wow, amazing.
Confused here.
And people are gonna say, "What? You go ahead and try what he's doing." Why? Why should anyone have that as any supposed life goal? Oh, it's because they love that game. Don't take that away from people that love basketball. They love that game and they make it their life somehow, or at least try. And out of the countless numbers who attempt and fail, well, then, they go out and get some apparent, regular career. Right? Is that what you're saying? Wow. Yeah, they probably still worship it and say, well, I'm just going to watch TV relentlessly and watch the games and see how I failed at not making what I wanted to be. Because apparently I loved it so much, but now I just got to rehash and go plan B or plan C or plan D or plan alphabet to who knows. Because apparently there's 1,001 ways to just do whatever you want. and then relentlessly cry 33rd degree victim and be rewarded by the society worship that relentlessly pushes Groundhog Day and smashes you with a mallet. And hopefully you will get smashed not shortly from here because you're relentlessly begging for something and soon you shall receive it. Who knew?
Now,
just one quick interruption. I know, I'm going to correct you. I know you meant the playoffs as opposed to the finals because he got swept in the finals.
okay, it was Golden State.
Okay.
It was Golden State.
I'm just saying, you brought up.
Okay, because
He
who
had
knew
shot. He
who
had
knew
shot.
that all this
Shot.
bash?
Nonetheless,
Who knew that all this bash? I mean, it's scripted. It's a show. It's a show. And why do you think they need four? How many people were on this panel? 4 bashes? They need 4 bashes. And you say, oh, it's because it, adds diversity, this and that. No, they need 4 bashes to keep it supposedly that interesting. Because really, this bash could be saying it all. One person. And supposedly be giving the bash different opinions that these other bashes are doing, right? Because if they were actually reporting on this actual, supposed sport, why take favoritism over this? Oh, in my opinion, well, me, I like this. No. Aren't you just supposed to just present the show or the game rather, and just say, wow, amazing game. Nice boys. Thanks for another bash 3 hours lost of my life, right? That's what they should be saying. But no, they just will talk and talk and talk and talk. Talk and talk about this and that and how we missed that shot and this and could have did that and this and that and that. And wow, nothing. Oh, well, just blasting down the beer and just cheering relentlessly for what? Exactly, you're praising some bash sport. Exactly. You're worshiping. So what does a man worship? Truly anything but the Creator. Anything but Christ and the way. Anything but the one and true living God. The true promise. Life everlasting. No. Right? No, that's not true. So that's why we just have to worship things like sports and you name it. Right? Because what ultimately there.
this is something that LeBron James
Who
developed.
ya got?
We
LeBron
saw.
now
So if the
or
only
MJ
knock is
in
to
his
say
prime?
that he's not an assassin, he's not a killer, he doesn't bring it game after day.
So who knew that there? I mean, this is probably just bash. All the while they're gonna just discuss and break down why this bash was better than this bash somehow. Right? What is going on? $23 and $23 apparently same jersey, same number. So you're like, we've pinned these 2 Titans. Now go out there and smash with you and try to come up with reasons why this one is better than this one. Now, go out there and just bash with your friends and talk about this relentlessly. Right? Because they are. So now you have to go out and just bash the same bash. And go look up the stats and the numbers and just look at all the numbers. Because who knew that that's what this bash apparently does. Advanced analytics, right? To see how he can improve his game and this and relentlessly watch his video footage and his. What is he doing? Who knows? But he's apparently smashing, and now they put it up with this other bash from another era. So they're saying who will win, and then you spam and you post and you cheer and you boo and this and this. Oh wow, it's just bash. And you say, "Wow, no, these are my heroes. Leave them alone." Why? It's bash. Every single sport. Because even you will admit that it goes back to the, Roman, gladiators, right? And all this bash and the distraction. And you're like, yeah, it's a distraction, but let me have it. Let me have my distraction. Right? Exactly. You think it's a distraction, but it's a destruction of yourself. The lifeline severed from life everlasting, but you can't wait to just finish just the last hack at it until you apparently become free. I'm free. I'm free from worshiping the true promise. Yay! Now I can go out and worship whatever bash I want. And man, does it ever feel good. Well, so who knew this bash? It's just another bash, right? They'll tell you all this bash. He was nicknamed the worm. Wow, who knew? And what is the worm? The defiler, right? Comes in and just defiles you, trawls you, eats you from the inside out. Robin played at the small forward position in his early years. Bob Bash. Right? Right, his biography at NBA.com states that he is arguably the best rebounding forward in history. Aww. Rahman experienced an unhappy childhood and was shy. Aww. And introverted. Aww. After aborting a suicide attempt in 1993, so he just aborted a suicide attempt. He said, no, I will not commit a suicide. What is he saying? Nothing. He reinvented himself as a bad boy. Who knew that was his, method acting, trauma that he went through? He had to go put himself just right before he did it, and then no, he was unpredictable, and he didn't know what he's going to do. He's like, action! Okay, we got it? Okay, good. Oh, now I'm a bad boy. Right? Full worshiper of the light. That was his, metamorphosis in his bash mind. Right? That was the beginning of his ritualized abuse. Perhaps by continuing in it in himself. Because who knew he had an unhappy childhood, so who knew that he was abused already. Right? So you say, no, he was just a regular ass kid and just liked to dye his hair. Well, that's surely what you say about people these days. Oh, no, they're just regular ass people. They just like to dye their hair relentless different colors and the rainbow, and it's just fine. And you say, oh, it just doesn't even matter, right? No, when did it stop mattering? Exactly. You're just brainwashed. After aborting his suicide, he invented himself as a bad boy and became the notorious controversial antics. Wow, he became that character fully. He said bye to his childhood and bash memories of bash, and he said hello to the bad boy antics. And who knew that method actors are rewarded because now they partake in the actor-based reality. But what does that even mean? Oh, they're given what? Access to the light worship fully. They're now 1,000 points of light that refracts and smashes and smashes. All right. Fredericks B. Summers made Shaquille O'Neal a Prince Hall Mason at sight. Who knew? And they just give his stats, Amazing. 19-year career. Amazing. Now he's 1,000 points of light. Just smashing. Doing us that wilt. Doing the bidding of the light. Because surely they believe in the light. They believe in knowledge, illumination, via the wisdom of the abyss, of the false promise, of making thy way in your own worship. Amazing. The square and the compass, who knew? And the GGG, who knew? He repeatedly dyed his hair in artificial colors. Who knew? Isn't dyeing your hair just artificial color to begin with? Because you're dyeing your hair. That means you're not coloring your hair. Even if it was you have dark hair and now you're dyeing it dark. Wow. It's not the color that it's in your hair, so it's artificial to your hair. What is it? Smashed. Had many piercings and tattoos. And regularly disrupted games by clashing with opposite players and officials. So apparently a rebel without a cause, right? Just couldn't care less about apparent, his peers or the supposed authority figures. Amazing. He famously wore a wedding dress to promote his 1996 autobiography, Bad as I Wanna Be. Right? This is a ritual, right? Wearing a wedding dress to promote some bash that he probably didn't even write it. It was probably written for him, and he's like, yeah, cool. This is going to take me to the next phase of my role. Amazing. Let's do it. Rahman pursues a high-profile affair he pursued an affair with Madonna and was briefly married to this bash. Rahman also attracted international attention for his visit to North Korea and was best friends with this bash, apparently. Amazing. Bash at the beach. Exactly. In addition to being a retired professional basketball player, Rahman is a retired part-time professional wrestler and actor. Who knew? Couldn't wait. Couldn't wait. He was a member of the NWO, New World Order. He was, right? Who knew that wrestling, this is hilarious. Just blasting it in your face and you think it's just staged. Right? In wrestling, what better way to put it right in your face? And fought alongside Hulk Hogan and these two other Bash method actors. In professional wrestling, Rahman was the first ever winner of the Celebrity Championship Wrestling Tournament. Well, who gives a bash? 1999, someone says. Of course. They don't give a synopsis. It's just an action comedy. Bash. Both films were critically panned, with the former earning Rodman a triple Razzie Award. Aww. See? Rewarded. They're rewarded in the flesh for worshipping the light and doing as it bids. Yes. Doing all these movies because now they're owned and they have to do it. Smashed. He appeared in several reality TV shows and won $222,000. It had to be that number. Amazing. Main prize of the 2004 edition of Celebrity Mole. Mole. They couldn't wait. Right? Amazing. And I skipped down to here because who gives a bash? Right? And you say, oh, well, fine. It's fine. Not to just... No, any man who liveth is surrounded by the ways of the world and the swarm that relentlessly just bash you. So, who knew that any man is already just doing all these things, right? That apparently he's charged with. So, just because he was married to this bash, right, or this other bash, and this guy was they were both charged with misdemeanors after they got into a fight or bash. Who cares? But each paid a combined $5,000. Right? That's it. 5,000. And you say, well, shouldn't they have paid more if they're celebrities? Well, who gives a bash? All right. Restraining order placed on them. Wow. 1999, Rodman was arrested for drunken driving and driving without a valid license. 1999. So what happened? Nothing. So he just... In July 2000, Rodman pleaded guilty to both charges and was ordered. Okay, so the following year, he paid $2,000 and was required to attend a 3-month treatment program. Of which, did he attend fully for those 3 months? Who knows? It's just a retreat for them. Who knows? And who knows that they... what do they do up there? Who knows? Nothing. More bashing into worshipping the light. But you say, oh, it's the AA and they believe in a higher power. Yeah, they're bash, watered down, one ring to rule them all. Bash, sense of a higher power. Yes. All while using, in name only, references that you will associate to either Christianity or somehow, the God of the Bible. No. Smashed. He was arrested in 2002 for interfering with police investigating a code violation at a restaurant he owned. They eventually dropped the charges. Who knew? So he has encounters with the law, right? But just think of it. Any other bash, right? Any other just supposed regular ass person, right? Who bashes his wife or his girlfriend. They get a restraining order filed against them. Okay. Then, and these are just the ones that are known about, right? But then he gets arrested for drunk driving, right? In 2000. So it's not like the 50s where nobody even gave a bash. They were all just wasted bash. And you say, well, it's not the same thing anymore. You're damn right. In the sense that people think it is different. No. People are out there doing it just the same. So it's your bash own false reality. Okay? Oh, well, saying, yeah, there's relentless, organizations for drinking and driving, stopping and this and for the victims and blah, 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 smashed. Because exactly, to finish my point, was that who knew that any other bash that did this, right? Fine, pay the $2,000 and a 3-month treatment program, and you're just screwed, right? But no, he was arrested in 2002 for interfering with police, and now he did this. Oh, amazing! But charge dropped. After slowing down in Newport Beach, California, police appeared over 70 times at his home because of loud parties. Oh, just relentless times just for loud parties. Aw. Of which probably the cops were there relentlessly just smashing, partying too. Maybe the people thought that cops were there 70 times, but maybe they were just there at the party. Providing the light show. Oh, yes. In early 2003, Rahman was arrested and charged with domestic violence at his home in Newport for allegedly, right? They love that word. Allegedly assaulting his then fiancée. Right? So you allegedly say that these bashes are somehow amazing because this is the weakest thing a man could ever worship. The weakest thing a man could worship is sports. Saying that, oh, well, I just love playing sports and I just love other men who just play better than me and somehow it's amazing. Wow. You're just stumbling, smashed, relentlessly tripping on ditches. All while thinking you're getting stronger and seeing the game better and just smashing. And oh, just because you can bash it 10,000 hours of muscle memory and just response and blah, blah, blah. You're brainwashed and now you can just do it and blah, blah, blah. And probably fake out some people and this. And who gives a bash? You scored. Wow. You're a winner. You're the best. You're the greatest of all time. Yeah, the GOAT. The GOAT. Because certainly you are a goat worshipper, the Baphomet worshipper of the two-horned beast. The two pillars that you think you're relentlessly synthesizing. Wow, smashed. Smashed.
I'm looking at these numbers, these stats, and I'm confused. Can we run the stats? Can we look at some stats right now?
Yeah.
Because LeBron James is a better player, clutch-wise, than Michael Jordan. You look at this.
Who gives a bash? Numbers.
He's showing
As he laughs.
47%. 5 buzzer beaters to 3. So if MJ is the GOAT, if we talk about,
Ryan, I don't know if this is the day to do it in front of a scarlet crowd.
In front of a scarlet crowd? What are you saying? The red crowd.
Real quick.
Hold on.
LeBron has played because he hasn't taken time off in many more playoff series. A lot of those are likely lower leverage games, and there are many more games to choose from. Those are counting numbers.
Who cares?
There's no argument.
So
to make
why is
that
this
LeBron
bash? Look at this. Look at, she's just there to look hot for all the other bashes, right? Of course, that's her only job. Once they're on camera. Behind camera, who knows? This guy knows. Definitely.
more clutch than Jordan by the numbers.
Hey, Max, I got him. You know, but I won't do that. Instead, what I'll take into consideration is this.
Because, again, who knew that, what? Putting these two guys, like, what does that even mean? And even if they played together, and which they do relentlessly, oh, this quarterback is this, and the opposing team's quarterback is this, his numbers are this and this and all. And you're like, oh no, I should be afraid. I hope they do good. Amazing. It truly is just a defile. That's what some brainwashed bash would do. And you say, no, what? I'm such a free thinker. I do the most relentless, skillful task, and I call it my work. Wow, exactly. You were brainwashed to do something now, and now you do it. Wow, amazing. Just like you were just brainwashed to worship this and call them your heroes and your idols and this and this. All while because, just can't wait to just be the bad boy and just smash it. Right? And you say, no, well, I gave that up. Now I have a family and this and this. Exactly. Now you're just domesticated. A domesticated bash that thought himself some bash, guy just smashing out there. But you don't even know what it is to have a family. No. For you're still lost, unfulfilled. Rahman was arrested and charged with domestic violence. Yes. And who knew? In April 2004, Rahman pleaded nolo contendere to drunk driving. Is that, who cares? Plead the fifth? He pled the fifth. And was fined $1,000 and served 30 days of home detention. No jail time. Right? Because, again, some other regular ass bash, no, jail time for sure. But you say, oh, it's just celebrities and they're rich and they can just do whatever they want. No. Who knew that they're owned? And that they're bailed out, they're dead, they're given out, they're hidden out. Right? Once they're in the brotherhood and this, once they're in the light, who knew that there's relentless handlers and this and this and this and this and this? Because it's all in it's all to self-preserve some image, right? That they're boasting according to what the bash character is supposed to do. At that point, people say, well, that's when I knew it was bigger than myself and I couldn't let the fans down and this and wow, smashed. Because who knew that a poster, right, of some bash, right? A poster of some bash. How long will that last? Not long. Apparently, until some other bash comes out, and they'll come up and say, "Oh, this guy sucked. New idol, come in, yay!" All the while pretending like they're giving such a hard time for this guy to still remain, right? And just like Gretzky too, who knew they used that bash relentlessly? Who knew that he was just like a mitt that they relentlessly just came in and used to defile you into worshiping further something that is false, all while selling the hometown Canadian guy that talks like this, hey, and smashes and nothing. They couldn't wait to always show his parents and how they bashed him into the ice and this and oh, little Wayne, he couldn't, he just was born on skates, smashed. Right? So what bash story do these guys have of rags to riches and rose like the phoenix from the ashes? Right? Every one of these bashes has its their own unique story that will get them I mean, whatever trap, right? Because now it's set. Surely the trap is set and you've fallen for it relentlessly. And you who knew you have characters. You who knew you have this guy. If you like the bad boy, you have this guy. If you like the funny guy that sometimes is in movies and this and all this stuff. Why? Who knew? Exactly. They ship shape. They play sports. They're in movies. They do music. This and that. Who knew? This is it. But they all are hiding behind a name, yet they're all serving an agenda that you seem to be just in totally a bliss from, just no clue. Or if you do, you're saying, no, 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 well, it's just entertainment. Entrainment, you mean, and it's just distractions. You mean destruction. So you're bashed. Because apparently he visited North Korea, and it's all because he just called the president up, Baraka, and said, hey, get your buddy to let me in. And who knew? He went out and just bashed. And after that, apparently he asked the guy to release some bash, and he did it. Wow. Kenneth Bay, who had been in there for 15 years. Wow. Doing hard labor. Who knew? My mission is to break the ice between hostile countries. Why it's been left to me to smooth things over, I don't know. Dennis Rodman, of all people, keeping us safe is really not my job. It's the black guys, Obama's job. Oh. Oh. Because apparently he's not black. Apparently Dennis Rodman isn't black, so it's the black guy's job. Obama. Or was he just saying it's the black man's job to what? Keep us safe? What is going on? What was he saying? But I'll tell you this. Okay, so he's going to clarify. If I don't finish in the top 3 for the next Nobel Peace Prize, something's seriously wrong. So he's predicting, right? Giving his own breakdown, bash, after game debrief, bash. So he's telling you, but one thing's for sure, if I don't get the Nobel Peace Prize, something's seriously wrong, right? Because he somehow is smoothing it over, right? Between hostile countries. Wow, who knew that the secret weapon is Rodman? Send the man with the rod and just things will change. Exactly, it's a mockery. For who knew that, what? Christ ruled with the wrought iron, right? What is going on? A rod, man. The man of a rod, the rod man that will just rod you relentlessly. So what's going on? Well, apparently he's smoothing it out for you, so you better just thank him. Call him up and just vote in your votes and give him the Peace Prize. What a shame. So, wow. He's a great dad. He has a daughter named Kim Jua. He planned to train the North Korean national basketball team. Oh, thanks, Rodman. He's trying to open Obama's and everyone's mind. Wow. So, Rodman is just so illuminated. He's just smoothing things over. Or just doing the light spitting, somehow smashing. Wow. And who knew he was? It's just relentless. The connections are. I mean, and just coincidence. Who gives a bash anyway? No, oh wow, we got access to North Korea. Wow, exactly. You believe in some North Korea that's a boogeyman, and somehow you're supposed to be afraid, and nobody gets there alive, and nobody gets out alive, and it's just death. Yep, exactly. Completely in line with the worship of light. 2 days later, Rodman apologized for his comments, right? The remarks were widely reported on the other media outlets and provoked historical criticism. Why? Because Rodman made comments during an interview implying that Kenneth Bay was at fault for his imprisonment. So even though he got him out somehow, he still blamed him for being in prison. It's like, well, after all, you got caught. Is that what happened? Is that what he said? Oh, what is going on? So he retracted, took it back. Kenneth Bay credited Rodman with his early release. He said that Rodman's rant raised awareness of his case and that he wanted to personally thank him for his expedited release. Thank you, Rodman. Yes. Just like the Bash that released the Denver or the Utah 3 or whatever, the teenagers that murdered the kids, and then apparently, all the celebrities, Depp and Bash singers and this went and rallied up to get them out, right? Because apparently they were innocent. You're like, whoa, if I doubted for a second that they were guilty, I would not be advocating for their release and this and that. So they're getting out people from jail. I mean, it's like Gotham City where the Joker has all the ruthless guys come out of jail. Why? What's going on? Amazing. Exactly. They're ritualizing you, saying, wow, we're unleashed. And we just did it in front of you and you had no idea. Because it's not, who gives a bash about, that guy or the teenagers that killed and then were released later. I mean, they're rituals, okay, to show you something that's already going on. But in doing so, now it's been ritualized into you and you have been a participant. You are not guilt-free. For in their trials, apparently, the public knew what was going on, yet they refused to see. Because that's ultimately, right, a defense of something that will self-preserve itself. It's like, well, I didn't know or nobody told me. I didn't know. Nobody told me. Right? What does that even mean? Nothing. So you depend somebody to tell you something, and for you to know somehow something, right, about what in order to live. So what is it that you know, and what were you told that somehow, allows you to live? Well, I don't know. I just know I didn't know anything about that, and please don't kill me. Please don't send me to jail. It's like, well, too bad, buddy. You didn't read the fine print, or, oh, you didn't see it blasting right in front of you? Oh, sorry, now you just get blasted. And truly, the blasted is relentless day in, day out, because you don't need to go to jail to just be blasted. You don't need to be this and that. No. You are blasted every day in the sense of promoting and just pushing forward Groundhog Day. Just stagnant. You're just stagnant. It's just you think you're pushing forward, but you just think you're pushing forward with more and more people, but it's just piling up and crashing down on you relentlessly. You don't even see. Rodman was not able to meet with Kim Jong-il, but instead with the nation's Minister of Sports and handed off several gifts for Kim Jong-un, including 2 signed basketball jerseys, 2 soap sets, and a copy of Donald Trump's 1987 book, The Art of the Deal. Because apparently this guy supports that bash, and he says, yeah, we don't need a president, we need a businessman. Right? I mean, why is he somehow the spokesperson between North Korea and the U.S. and what is this? I mean, amazing. Who even gives a bash? But that's just one dude. Because he's in the light, supposedly, and wears all these bash colors and whatever. Well, look at all the other teams and all the other, players that who knew many, or if not all, of them belong to some brotherhood under the hierarchy of the greatest illuminated ones. Who knew? Who knew? And who knew it's a ritual. You must do it to move forward to the next phase. You must do it if you want. And it's all contract law, okay? Who knew? Because first it might be just contract, but then you go further and further, and it becomes action, and it becomes behavior, and it becomes actual. Yes, takes over your life. Because now you are, you've been groomed, and you're owned, and that's why you're paid handsomely for being owned. Not because you're in the zone and you're playing and this and that and that and that, and you just know the moment before the move is gonna happen. That's why we pay them millions, to be in the moment. We pay people to be in the moment relentlessly, and that's why we pay them millions, so they can do all these spectacular, amazing miracles we call unrepeatable by bash other people. No. You have just swallowed the pill and choked on it. Whether you think you're red pill or blue pill or purple, whatever, you just choked on it. Choked. Think of yourself alive. Exactly. Trying to cook up some life for yourself. All because you are godless. You have forsaken him. And in return you say, "Why have you forsaken me? That's why I hate you, God, because apparently you just turned your back on me. And I will always love you," right? You make all this mockery, and then you can't wait to just cry and cry and whine and whine and cry and whine and whine and complain and just why. And that's why you must do things that you feel good about all the time. And surround with yourself with the people that just boast you and make you feel back again like normal, like the good old times. Smashed. No clue. And that's why you're just bang, 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 be smashed and dashed on, and this and this and that, and call it a day. Because what is the gain of worshiping this? Oh, no, but it's just fun to watch. It's entertaining. It's exciting. I get to see my favorite player do all the moves I like to see him do. Right? It's just like what? Is it like porn? You just go to the part where you like best? Oh, it's just because I like to watch that. Right? We're just kind of addicts. We're just all kind of addicts then, right? Let's just be more tolerant to addiction then, and just admit we're all addicts and just move on and sing kumbaya in that way, right? Wow, no. Because truly, we are in denial. We are in a blasted place of some past light that we don't even know we see and worship, but we do. We see that past light, we're like, oh, it's just light. The sun comes up and that's light. So are you saying I worship the light and the sun? Well, among other things, yes. But it's image worship. The shape-shifting image worship that you call your past life. And just leave me alone. Anybody can just believe what they want. Well, you believe that anybody can believe what they want and yet cry when the peace that you apparently idealize and the prosperity and the freedom that you say, we should be fighting for somehow never comes to fruition. Wow, I wonder why. You're bashed. And you're like, well, if we just change the government in the way of this and that and just give the power back to the people somehow, to local governments and this and communities and power and leadership. No. Wow. Just as equally smashed. Yes. For it all comes down to what a man worships. And clearly, there's no man out there because a large portion, if not all of them, worship some bash sport. And if it's not a sport, it's some bash other thing that they think is somehow fulfilling their whatever bash craft that they do, or crafts, hobbies. And then they have their money cow, their cash cow, right? They have their hobbies and then their cash cow. What does that even mean? Split it. You have no clue. Oh, well, I can really make it at my passion, but so I do this. It's equally good. I can still respect myself, and we call it a day. Wow, suffer and die. Yes. Yes. for people who truly just have settled, comforted, right? Conform to something that they just went along with, and somehow they complain about, but somehow it's just day in, day out, do the same thing, and it's all good. Amazing. Smashed.